How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I want to take you guys through my starting 23 for the All Blacks to play Argentina this weekend, taking consideration Patrick Tuipulotu and Anton Lienert-Brown's injuries, but also within mind that Tamaiti Williams and Wallace Sititi might be fit and ready to play this weekend. So please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it. Now, I think me, just like everybody else, is expecting the All Blacks to come through with a relatively solid win. The Argentinians, the Los Pumas, they are no doubt a very strong squad. They're a very physical squad, as we saw in the first test, and they will happily keep pace with the All Blacks, as we saw with the likes of Pablo Matera, who's just an absolute monster. He does not stop. He keeps the All Blacks on their feet. But in terms of just that sheer quality from 1 to 23, the All Blacks are, they outplay him pretty much in every single aspect of the game. But never underestimate the Argentinians, because that might cause you to be like the Springboks up against the Wallabies and get your backside absolutely spanked. So hopefully the Wallabies, I've got that in my mind now. Hopefully the All Blacks do not take the Argentinians lightly, because the Argentinians are going to be coming in like a fierce bull. There's going to be no stopping them. They're going to be relentless, and they are not going to stop until that final whistle blows. So they really need to be on their best game. Now, this 23 that I'm creating, I want to not only take in consideration injuries, players that are coming back, but also players that need to be rested, because there's going to be the big game up against South Africa later on in the year. Plus, there are just some players that have been ridiculously played. So please check this out. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, and I would love to hear what your starting 23 would be for the test here. All right, for the test up against Argentina. So check this out. I am going Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, Fletcher Newell. I feel that this partnership is very strong, very solid, very good when it comes down to the scrummaging. Big hitters as well. And Fletcher Newell, obviously coming off of a brilliant first game up against Argentina. I think he's just going to continue, and he's just going to get more consistent. So I am going with that as my front three. In terms of my lock pairing, I am going to be going Scott Barrett and then Tupou Vaa'i. Now, this is taking consideration Patrick Tuipulotu's injury, but also Fabian Holland's just relentless playing. This guy is practically playing every single minute of every single game. Any chance that he has to play, he is playing. The guy needs rest. So I do think Razor is going to look at this, and he is going to give him a bit of rest. But what this does, having Vaa'i in at 5, is going to allow for a little bit more rotation here, right? So I think this would still hold very strong lineouts, very big hits, and this tight 5 would really dominate the Argentinians, no matter how strong they are. And my word, they are strong. I mean, with Julia Montoya just leading that line, my word, they are scary. They really are scary. So yeah, Scott Barrett, Tupou Vaa'i, and then this is where things are going to start changing. So in terms of my back row, I'm bringing Samipeni Finau into 6, because obviously Vaa'i is at 5. I'm bringing Ardie Savea at 7. There's an ever so slight chance that they might replace him for Simon Parker. I think Simon Parker is an absolutely scary prospect. So if we are not going to end up seeing Ardie Savea, or what I have at Wallace Sititi at 8, I think Simon Parker should definitely at least be on the bench to get things going. But I am going to choose Ardie Savea at 7, Wallace Sititi at 8. I think that's where they are going to be most dangerous. They're going to give Wallace Sititi a little bit of experience before the Springboks game, because he is going to be one of those players that's going to be needed for that game. And then I'm going Cortez Ratima and Damian McKenzie. I think Beauden Barrett has been playing so much. He's been playing so brilliantly. I think he needs a bit of rest. I think Beauden Barrett needs a bit of a rest, especially with the games coming up. the guy's phenomenal, right? So you're not exactly going to be dropping him. And to be fair, you're replacing with Damian McKenzie. How much, how much, what's the word for it? The quality for quality factor. You're not really losing quality in bringing DMAC in at 10. So I think we're going to go DMAC at 10, Cortez Ratima at 9, and that's purely because they don't really have that much options in terms of 9. They really don't. But yeah, Ratima, DMAC, and then in terms of my wingers, I am going Reiko Ioane and then Sevu Reece at 14. So Reiko Ioane 11, Sevu Reece at 14, with Geordie Barrett, Billy Proctor in the centers. Honestly, I can see Tawa Tavanawai coming in as a potential replacement for Anton Lienert-Brown, but he's been more of a backup, so it's more just going to be bench support. And then Will Jordan at 15. Will Jordan, he's just one of those players. I would love to put him on the bench, but I just can't see him being on the bench or being rested. He's just too good. He's one of those players that I want to be watching week in, week out. So yeah, that's my 15. In terms of my bench, I'm going Samasone Takeaho, Tamaiti Williams at 17 because he's coming in from an injury. I think they're going to give him a little bit of a rest. Ethan de Groot and Fletcher Newell, they've been playing their socks off. So, give the guy a bit of time. And, Ethan de Groot, again, it's not, Tamaiti Williams is an elite level loosehead, but I mean, you're not really losing quality when we're talking about Ethan de Groot. When you have to take in consideration and have to potentially drop one of these stars, it's like, how? Each of these players would make it into pretty much any single team in World Rugby, bar one team, which is South Africa, and that's purely because of Oxenche, who I classify as the best Lucy in World Rugby. But still, the quality is just ridiculous. And then I'm going Basilio Tosi, Josh Lord as lock cover for Tuipulotu, who's gone out. Honestly, there's the likes of Luke Jacobson. I do feel Simon Parker will get the spot on the bench. I really do think he will end up getting that spot on the bench. And then I'm going Finley Christie. I'm going Quinn Tupea for a little bit of cover. But Tava Tavanawai could also come in as well. I think Tava Tavanawai is just absolutely phenomenal, and he gives so much versatility. So if it's not Quinn, it's going to be... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Tava Tavanawai. I'm going to go Tava Tavanawai as a midfield cover because he can also play out in the wings as well. So yes, Tava Tavanawai, and then DMAC, Bowden Barrett at 23. So I do feel we also going to be having that. Going to be having Bowden Barrett in at 23 just as that little extra support, not necessarily to be used, but just to be there. So let me know what you guys think in relation to this, because I think this gives a little bit of change. It allows players to be rested, especially someone like Fabian Holland, who's been playing so much. It also adds, the likes of Wallace Sititi to get himself some game time. Hopefully Tamaiti Williams can get himself some game time. Honestly, hopefully they are just fit and ready. If none of them play, I would still be happy, because that just means that they are going to be rested and prepared for the Springboks game. But it goes hand in hand with, okay, yeah, they're ready, but are they battle hardened? Are they test match rugby hardened? Because there's only so much training you can do. You will never truly be match fit, match ready until you've actually had a consistent, set of games behind you at playing at the highest level, competitive, not a training. So I really hope I get to see them, but I want to see them fit, ready, injury free, and fully recovered. So I don't want to see them playing Wallace Sititi if he's at 70%. You don't want to be seeing Tamaiti Williams at 70%. You want him to be going all in, crushing heads, and showing why he's one of the damn best loose head props in World Rugby. So, yeah, that's my squad to play Argentina. We do still have a couple of days until the actual squads do get released. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and who would you play in your 23. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.